Okay, don't suck the ghost of your own dick too hard.
That's what he's like, though, as a character.
I know.
How did the events of The Lord of the Rings appear from the Witch King's perspective?
So, yeah, this is something
I didn't know whether you'd be interested in this or not. Yeah, it was just there, just in case.
100%. 100%. So, in Deep Geek, Lord of the Rings, Witch King's perspective, let's go.
Yeah.
What did he know? When did he know it? And how did that affect what he did? Hi everyone, this is Robert. Welcome to In Deep Geek. On this channel, we cover The Lord of the Rings,
Hello.
Song of Ice and Fire, and much more. If you love in-depth discussion of great fantasy and science fiction, please consider clicking the subscribe button in the bottom right of your screen.
I'm
One of
subscribed.
the most obvious but
Oh, I'll click your button. The button deep inside your butthole.
overlooked aspects of
Walked up for the
Tolkien's
booby trap.
bad guy in The Lord.
Well, those booby traps are only set off by the YouTube algorithm, Caitlin.
Ah, yes. Yes, and they're
Ring, Sauron, is that he largely stays where he is. From the beginning to the end of The Lord of the Rings, Sauron stays in Barad-dûr, which would make for quite a passive villain were it not for the Nazgul. It is they who pursue Sauron's agenda across Middle-earth, and they who provide the danger and jeopardy in the early part of the story. Without the Black Riders, the first part of The Lord of the Rings would be devoid of danger, and even in the second half of the story, the Nazgul are there in charge of Sauron's army. And the leader of the Nazgul is the Witch King of Angmar. Although we often just think of him as being the leader of the Nazgul and Sauron's lackey, we should probably take a moment to be clear that no one did more to prepare the way for Sauron's return at the end of the Third Age than him. Sauron may have been lurking in the background for a few thousand years, but the Witch King destroyed the entire northern kingdom of Arnor, then ended the line of kings down in Gondor personally, led on rebuilding and refortifying Mordor, and
Now give us that in the show.
the majority
Right?
of the Third Age. He isn't
Only
just
to go and die like a bitch.
Yeah.
Die like a bitch, buy a bitch, for a bitch.
But he also had a lot of fun while doing it, so...
Facts.
formidable force in his own right. And just to clarify the relationship between the Witch King and Sauron,
Yeah, there's some confusion about that.
Right.
was totally dominated by Sauron, completely
Sauron is his father.
around the bushel.
Basically.
Yes, figuratively speaking, that is true.
Yeah. Yeah. Figuratively.
No, I am your father. I'm just imagining that scenario played out, but it's between the Witch King and Sauron.
Oh my god.
The Witch King is inside of Mount Doom, and he's just holding his hand up dramatically, and the eye is looming over him, and he's just like, no. But in the Nazgul voice, so it's more like, no.
And then Treebeard comes in and goes, "No, I am your father." Tree? I am no tree. I'm your dad.
Now come over here, boy, and become a tree hugger.
Oh my god.
Thank you so much for that. That was brilliant.
Couldn't have done it without you doing the fucking stupid ass tree beard. Oh yeah, I'm clearly that fucking demonic human's dad, because I'm a tree. I have two legs and two arms, so obviously I'm sexually compatible with a human female. Couldn't you tell by all the bark and moss?
Next steps up one of those elephants that shows up at the Battle of the Pelennor Fields.
You mean Oliphant?
Yeah, the elephant, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude.
He said, he is your father.
Is a roundabout way of calling the Witch King's mom a massive whore. Like, your mom is such a slut. It takes an elephant to satisfy her.
Oh my god.
Who is the Witch King? The Witch King's fathers? Is it the Denver Broncos?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Mr. Garrison?
Or is it Zach Peeper's left pinky toenail?
This one, but, and this is an important but,
I don't know how we made a lore video about Lord of the Rings into a comedy routine, but by God, we're doing it.
Yep.
despite that control, the Witch King retained his autonomy of action. Sauron did not control him remotely from afar. He was not in constant telepathic communication with him.
Mm-hmm.
Simply put, the Witch King was in charge of his own actions during that period. He had been given his orders, and he was striving to carry them out, but he made his own in-field decisions. Okay, that all said, what was the Witch King up to during that time? What did the War of the Ring look like from his perspective?
Let's message him. Witch
That's
King.
the story in
WUU2.
Sorry, what?
Just saying, let's message him. Witch King, what are you up to?
Right.
Oh, well, I just let me look back here, get a quick glance and count. I just slaughtered about 5,000 men. The orcs and demons are cleaning up the rest of the stewards of Gondor. I think I'm gonna head over to Rivendell and try to not get my ass kicked by the elves. What about you, Sauron? What's up with you right now?
No, it's some girl that he's trying to impress. She just replies, "Cool," smiley face.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the Witch King has a beta male cuck trying to get it. Caitlin, write that down.
Okay.
Write that down. We're doing that skit. The
Okay.
Witch King trying to get a date.
Okay. Yes.
Mordor. Sauron was obviously desperate to find the ring and had captured and interrogated Gollum, learning about Shire and Baggins. Not knowing exactly where to start looking for the Shire, Sauron sent out his Nazgul, his most trusted servants, first to very ostentatiously attack Osgiliath, so everyone thought they knew where they were, then in secret to the Anduin River Valley to hunt for the Shire. They went invisible and uncloaked for this. It was only a bit later when they got those black cloaks and became...
Yeah, no one's going to notice those black horses with the black riders on them.
Right.
They're just going to blend in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because don't you know, the literal embodiment of death riding down the countryside roads is just perfectly normal.
Oh yeah.
Just regular stuff,
Yeah.
Not something to be worried about at all, frankly.
Sounds just that out of touch with what people are like.
Right.
They didn't find anything in the Anduin Valley. Even the settlement Gollum had grown up in was gone, so the Witch King took them further north and west, which, to be fair to him, if they had carried on that way, would have taken him to the Shire and Baggins. But Sauron instead sent orders for them to go to Isengard to question Saruman. The timing here is quite important, because Gandalf had only just escaped Saruman's clutches on the back of Gwaihir when the Black Riders got there, so Saruman took the hit that he looked a bit incompetent as a jailer, and admitted that Gandalf had flown off to Rohan, saying that only he, Gandalf...
Yeah, I totally had him trapped, but then he jumped on the back of a giant eagle.
Listen, you gotta listen to me. I had him on the roof. I took his magic stick. How was I supposed to know he was gonna fucking butterfly whisper a fucking message to the eagles? It's not my fault. you know what the odds are on a butterfly flying above my tower? I cut down every tree within 20 square miles.
You've got to clip that and use it as a short. Because you also sort of make a point, though.
Yeah.
As ridiculous as it is, I can just imagine him and just... You're like, yeah, you sort of got a point. It wasn't really your fault.
Yeah. Like it's the stupid moth's fault. That's what it is.
Fucking brilliant.
Well, you could have just kept him underground.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Like, fuck, I could have kept him down in the orc forges. Then he would have been under constant 24. Well, no, because it's fucking Gandalf. He would have fucking... The orcs have or not the orcs, but no, yeah, the orcs. Yeah, the orcs have weak minds. So Gandalf would have just fucking made one of them let him out.
I'll use my Jedi mind powers.
Right.
Exactly. Literally, exactly. He would have just like sat there and engaged what would be stimulating conversation for the orc, and finally at the end of it, Gandalf would have been like, yeah, so that's why you're gonna let me out. And the orc would be like, yeah, you're right.
Now just imagine Ian McKellen delivering the lines. So, what do maggots taste like? Like to try and get a conversation out of them.
Oh my god.
So, what do maggots taste like? Although you imitate Ian McKellen better than I do, for sure. God.
That, from Saruman's perspective, got the Nazgul off his back for a little bit. Reading between the lines here, though, the Witch King seems to
Lots of managerial stuff going on here.
Point.
Yeah.
Sauron now pretty much knew that Saruman had betrayed him and was seeking for the ring himself, but although the ring wraiths were strong, Saruman had a whole army and was firmly dug into Orthanc, and he was a very powerful wizard. No, pragmatism was the winner here. The Witch King had been tasked with finding the ring, so an assault on Saruman would have to wait.
Yeah,
He
'cause by
instead
this
led
time,
the
Saruman's like, my insurance policy is if you double cross me, Big Daddy, I am going to take over the whole show.
It's just like a big rogue corporation.
Yeah.
Sauron's just the CEO.
Right. Yeah.
Saruman's coming for his chair.
Yes.
I want that corner office.
Exactly. He's like, I didn't kill those two blue wizards on the other side of the wall for nothing.
towards Rohan to hunt for Gandalf. En route, they met Grima going the opposite direction. Grima knew he was hugely outnumbered and outpowered and basically just spilled all the juice. Gandalf had been to Edoras and was now gone. Saruman was a traitor to Sauron, and the Shire was northwest of them, west of Bree. The Witch King spared Grima. We read that the Lord of the Nazgul spared the life of the Wormtongue, not out of pity, but because he deemed that so great a terror was upon him that he would never dare to speak of their encounter, as proved true, and he saw that the creature was evil and was likely to do great harm yet to Saruman if he lived. So he left him lying on the ground and rode away, and did not trouble to go back to Isengard.
Yeah.
Sauron's vengeance could wait.
It's just like,
Yeah.
your existence is worse than death. So keeping you alive is actually the greater punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, it was like, plus I forecast that you're going to murder your boss. So, less work I have to do.
It really
I
is
hate that guy
hilarious.
too.
It really is hilarious that fucking Saruman in the end got did in by a snitch pushing him off a ledge.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Laid low by the most bitch ass motherfucker in your whole organization.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to stab you in the lung and throw you off your own tower, which in the book, actually, that happened during the Scouring of the Shire around the end.
Yeah, because he's just at Bag End waiting for Frodo to get home. And then he pisses Grima off, and Grima just stabs him.
Yeah, Grima like jumps on top of him and is just like full on Norman Bates from Psycho. Yeah. Yep.
King had orders to find the ring by finding Baggins and the Shire, and now he knew where the Shire was. He also knew that Gandalf was
Finally, I know where it is.
lead the opposition.
How to find the ring.
The Witch King decided to split up the Black Riders to widen the net as they headed north and west to find the Shire. If you're wondering, by the way, why Sauron and his minions didn't know where the Shire was, I did a video on that. But the key point here was that they didn't. Not in detail until they met another Saruman spies.
What was that?
Seamless plug. If you want to know more about this topic, I actually have a video on that. And
like that.
moving on. I barely noticed that, thank you. But I will go watch that video.
Right? It's like,
Who had a map.
I would like to know more about this.
The Nazgul took those maps and focused in on the Shire. The spy they sent on to Bree and told him in no uncertain terms that he works for Mordor now, not Saruman. And finally,
Caitlin, you know what my goal as a writer is?
What?
To have videos like this made about my work after I'm dead.
Yes.
A long time after you're dead, too.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
Last time I did a deep dive, it was because of this guy. When I found his content, I basically did what you're doing with that Warhammer game. I was like, right, I've watched enough of these videos. I have to watch them all.
mm-hmm.
I mean, luckily, I'm not into like many other fantasy things, so I didn't get lost in his channel completely. But there's still a lot of Lord of the Rings content that he's got.
finally, the Nazgul reached the border of the Shire, the Sarn Ford. It took a little time, but they defeated the rangers that were stationed there and moved on into the Shire. The Witch King again divided his forces. He put his second in command, Camul the Easterling, in charge of the small team heading into the Shire itself. It was he who confronted...
To start up a new franchise.
The Witch...
What new franchise?
He's taken a separate team off to go start a new franchise. It's a corporation, remember?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I misheard the first part of what you said.
King took the rest of the wraiths east to cut off any escape route. What followed was a cat and mouse game for a few days between Frodo, Gandalf, Aragorn, and the Nazgul. Frodo had got out of Hobbiton just a few hours before Camul got there, and the hobbits managed to evade the Black Riders, but only just for the next few days.
Caitlin,
Mm-hmm.
can I just say that in that picture of Gandalf and Frodo, it looks like Gandalf is like an old grumpy weirdo, and Frodo is like making eye contact with you as if to say, "Please help me."
Get me out of here.
He hits me at night.
I've
Or he
been
does other
hidden.
things.
Oh my god.
This guy isn't my dad.
Although he does make me call him Daddy.
Well, I could see Elijah Wood delivering those lines. He's done some
Oh
suitably
my
silly stuff.
god.
I can't remember the name of it, but he's in that one where he's like friends with a dog.
Yeah.
But it's just a guy in a dog suit, but it is
Yeah.
actually a dog in the program.
See,
Oh,
see, when you said he has done some that silliest stuff, I immediately went to Harry Potter, but then I remember that it's not Elijah Wood, but it's actually Elijah Wood's clone that played Harry Potter. So
it's
I think the clone's name was Daniel something, right?
It's discount Elijah Wood.
Daniel Craig?
Fuck, hang on. I know this one. I know this one. Hang on. Uh, um, rat, rat guts. Daniel Rat Guts, Rat Bone.
Rat Guts. Oh, him as their lead singer.
Yeah,
Yes.
with new lead singer Elijah Wood's clone.
Then Gandalf appeared on the scene and was less than subtle, charging around on Shadowfax, and the Witch King realised that Gandalf was also looking for the ring bearer. So he realised that he didn't need to find those pesky little sneaky hobbits, he just needed to find Gandalf, and Gandalf would lead him to the ring bearer. So after hearing about Frodo
What now?
Not a bad plan.
No.
being in Bree and disappearing mysteriously in the Prancing Pony, the Witch King went there and then outmaneuvered Gandalf to trap him at Weathertop. Gandalf was outnumbered, but still
Now
managed
it's
to
like gang warfare.
Huh?
Now it's like gang warfare. Gandalf's like the leader of another gang. Witch King's getting him cornered to go take him out.
I thought they were corporations though.
Yeah, it sort of switched at one point.
But, you know, kind of the same thing.
Just about the time they got into the Shire.
Organized crime, big corporates.
When he escaped in the
Kind of the
morning,
same
the
thing.
Witch King sent 4 Nazgul after him, just in case he was going to join up with Frodo elsewhere. He wasn't. Gandalf then gave up the chase for Frodo as he was attracting too much attention, and instead headed direct for Rivendell. So that's why there were only 5 Nazgul by Weathertop when Aragorn and the hobbits arrived there 3 days later. The 5, including the Witch King, attacked. Frodo held them off for a moment by invoking the name of Elbereth, and Aragorn, heroism personified, beat them back with his flaming brands, but by that point the Witch King was actually okay to beat a tactical withdrawal. He had managed to stab Frodo in the shoulder with his Morgul blade, the top of which had broken off, and Frodo was poisoned. And not a normal poison either. Yes, it would leave him in great pain, but the shard itself would work its way towards his heart, and when it reached there, it would turn into a
Using
wraith.
5G to control it.
Just a matter of thinking.
Oh my god. I
Oh.
fucking love this. They really should have
They
they
should.
really should have kept that fucking scene where Frodo had a vision of himself as Gollum.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not sure which part you're on about.
So there's a apparently in the original screenplay before they did some editing, there was a scene where Frodo had a like a vision of himself if he failed to the will of the ring, and he was all Gollumed out. And actually, on screen right now is a picture of Elijah in the makeup for that because they were gonna shoot it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a great shot, too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and he looks all, one eye is like completely sapphire blued. He's like that thing where you have hair on the back of your head, but the entire front of your head has balded. He's got that going on.
A receding hairline.
Yeah, to the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's got the veins showing. He's got the fucking crazy meth lady nails.
Awesome.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
And that Frodo would die from the poison, Frodo would turn into one of them with the ring, and they would get it that way. They just needed to hang around and be close enough for when it happened. Hobbits are small, right? So surely it wouldn't take that long.
Oh my god. They get the ring through Frodo. He's wearing the ring when it's delivered to Sauron. Sauron, as a symbol of his ability to corrupt even the most pure and innocent thing, possesses Frodo as his avatar.
Gosh.
Christ.
Oh my god.
Would that not like that? The symbolism is there though. Like, look
Yeah.
at I'm
yeah.
He wasn't there, and that would be cool, but also kind of funny.
Oh yeah, it would be hilarious. Like,
Yeah, but like Sauron would sort of intend it to be hilarious for himself.
exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Chad.
Chad,
Hey, Chad.
you are awesome.
Yeah.
What? It sounded like you were almost in reverie there for a second, Mason.
I'm just trying to see how ridiculous I can make it, to be honest, each time I do it.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Of course, hobbits are sturdier than they look, and Aragorn is quite a good
That's
healer.
right.
So
We are.
Caitlin, did he just refer to himself as a hobbit? Is that what happened?
Yes. And this is just what happened. And Chad says, "Oh, Mason is here." Yes. Yes, Mason is here.
I am here.
Yep.
Even if you can't see me, I'm just like the wind.
Don't worry, you can't see you either.
Just like the wind.
Yeah,
The wind.
and he's even a blowhard, so you know.
Oh my god.
Oh. There was no need for that, my friend.
Like, no. How do you do this thing?
We were in that together, and then you stabbed me in the back.
Just like the wind. Wait.
What? Never mind. Punch me in the face.
He says, "Mason, please don't say in British phases Zach can't look dumb again." And he, what?
He's still stuck on the thing about dude over there, the asshole dude over there thing, the British phrase I didn't know. What was it?
Oh, the chav.
Chav. Or chap.
No, CHAV, chav.
Okay, yeah, see, fuck you, Chad. You don't even remember it right. See?
Yeah,
it's not even the word chap, bitch. So shut up.
It's like it's not even the same word.
It's not. So, you know, take the ghost of my dick out of your ear. Fucking maybe you'll hear it right next time.
on for longer than expected. Nevertheless, this was touch and go. The Witch King again split his forces. 3 raced ahead to guard the last bridge, the only bridge for miles over the River Holwell, about halfway between Weathertop and Rivendell, but they were beaten off by Glorfindel. Now, Glorfindel doesn't really feature in the Peter Jackson films, but he is quite a legend. An elf who died killing a Balrog, went to Valinor and was sent back to help the people of Middle-earth. Basically,
Glorfindel, badass.
To mess
Wait, Glorfindel did what now?
legend. An elf who died killing a Balrog, went to Valinor and was sent back to help the people of Middle-earth. Basically, he's near angelic and not someone to mess with, as the Witch King himself discovered much earlier in the Third Age when they had a confrontation. More about that later. So on hearing
more about how this motherfucker got served later in the video.
Yeah, he really did. Glorfindel has a badass background.
Yeah, he
They're
does.
like,
Glorfindel
I'm
was
going down, I'm taking you down with me to the Balrog. And then the
Yeah.
gods are like, you know what, you're so awesome. You get another go. Go
Right,
on.
yeah. He's like elf Jesus. It's just
Like, oh, jeez.
Only better. I really couldn't decide whether to do that joke or not for a second. It was like on a knife's edge of like, do it, don't do it, do it, don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Glorfindel, elf Jesus, but better. Caitlin put it on a shirt.
Okay. Oh my god.
Make millions.
did a massive detour to the south and raced back up on the east side of the river to pick up the trail later. Eventually, all 9 ringwraiths were there on horseback, chasing down Frodo. We know what happens next, of course. Frodo, alone on Asphalloth, just makes it to the other side of the Ford of Bruinen, outside Rivendell. He turns
I did not, Chad. I'll check it out after this video, though.
and has a moment of defiance, really, holding up his sword in the air. The Witch King laughed and
Which
magically
they changed to
shattered.
the movie to Arwen doing it.
Finally, the Witch King and makes it what happens next, of course. Frodo, alone on Asphalloth, just makes it to the other side of the Ford of Bruinen, outside Rivendell. He turns and has a moment of defiance, really, holding up his sword in the air. The Witch King laughed and magically shattered the sword. Finally, the Witch King thought, the moment has come.
Casually.
That he genuinely feared, or was at least wary of, Glorfindel was now behind him, as were Aragorn and the other hobbits. Frodo was
Him on the shoulder.
fences just meters ahead of him. So sure of victory was he that he even laughed. But then, as the Black Riders were crossing the ford, Elrond caused the waters of the Bruinen to rise and swept them all downstream. The first part of the Witch King's involvement in the story, the hunt for the ring, had very, very nearly succeeded a few times. But ultimately here, it failed. The Witch King himself,
They
once
got lucky again.
position to the only horse that survived and charged back to Mordor. The ring was in Rivendell and out of their reach for the time being. He needed new orders from Sauron. When he got to Mordor, he sent horses back for the other Nazgul, and Sauron gave him and his brethren new steeds, the flying fell beasts. They were no longer to be incognito or anonymous Black Riders.
Give them
Now-
new cars, new pimped out ones.
Right.
Is that what you would call those fucking abominations that they ride on?
Well, yes.
Pimped out cars?
Yeah.
Yeah. A fell beast. Dude.
Oh my god, dude. These things look horrendous. Like, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
I know.
Yeah.
I was terrified of the ring race as a kid. Legit.
Like, is that what these things look like in the book, Cait?
Yeah. Fell beasts? Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus. It's fucking, oh my god. Its bridle is attached to nails they've put into its jaw.
Yeah.
Unleashed to strike fear into the opposition, and the Witch King himself was to lead Sauron's army. Sauron gave him, we learn in one of Tolkien's letters later, added demonic force at this point. Again, it's worth pointing out that during the battle,
Because they weren't dangerous enough. They
Right.
needed
Exactly.
added demonic.
Yeah.
that was not controlled by him. The Witch King made his own decisions. And the Witch King didn't know it, but at the moment he led the army out from Minas Morgul, the ring was actually there, close at hand.
What?
Just being so close and yet so far away again. It's just I
Yeah.
can't stop picturing it as a cartoon with the Witch King just like slowly getting more and more frustrated.
Sam were just outside Mordor and trying to get in as he was heading out, and the Witch King, we are told, paused for a moment, troubled, sensing some other power in his valley. Frodo felt a great urge to put on the ring, presumably coming from the Witch King, but resisted, holding on to the phial of Galadriel and its true, pure light. And the moment passed. The Witch King carried on with his army.
Oh, never mind.
The question of
They show that moment in the movies.
Yeah.
Yep, third movie.
Yeah.
I just love it. It's like, is that the ring? I think that might be the ring. Yeah. Oh, I can definitely smell it. Huh? Huh? Oh, never mind. I guess it's gone.
Hey, what's? Yeah, I can just imagine Sauron has fucking the Wraith King on a leash. Oh, on a leash. What? Oh, what's that? What's that, boy? Do you smell the ring? Do you? Oh, go get the ring, boy. Go get the ring.
Oh my god. Or the way Mason was doing it, it was almost like he was like, is it the ring or is it the Taco Bell I had last night?
Oh my god. I'm going to look for the ring for you. Because I love you.
Because I love you. Oh my god. I murdered all of your enemies.
I
Because
should
I
have
love you.
What more do you want from me?
How the fuck, Chad? Do you have any idea how long it would take Mason to narrate my book, bro? That is like the dumbest thing you could possibly fucking suggest. The time it would take Mason to memorize and then narrate my book and then edit it, I could write my third book and the next book and the next book. And do the audiobooks for my first two books.
And then I'll still only be on the Bleeding Ground Volume 5.
Oh my god.
You know it's sad but true.
Why he didn't do more is one that has caused much debate, but the consensus seems to be that Sauron, and by extension the Witch King, were convinced that the ring was at or on its way to Minas Tirith. The idea that someone might try to destroy it had simply never crossed their minds, so the Witch King
Well,
probably...
they're going to destroy it. I never thought of that. Surely no one would do that.
Well, I mean, they genuinely don't see that as being something that they would do because the ring is power, and in Sauron's mind, power is the ultimate goal. So he would never conceive that someone would want to destroy it because from his worldview, that's literally unthinkable.
Oh yeah, I totally get it. I just make a joke out of everything.
Yeah, you're just taking the piss. I got you.
Having tested the strength of the ring bearer to not put on the ring, if the ring bearer were there, decided to do what his master commanded, take the army to Minas Tirith. He didn't think the ring bearer could possibly be there outside Mordor, and if they were, he couldn't guess that they would have an item as powerful as the Phial of Galadriel to help resist his magic, and besides, he had his orders, and he always obeyed Sauron's orders. With his army, he took Osgiliath without much resistance, then headed on into the Pelennor fields. All resistance was just brushed aside. As well as huge superiority in numbers, the army of Mordor had fear on their side. All the Nazgul, but particularly the Witch King, brought with them an aura of fear that made defenders scatter before them. This wasn't one of those...
Imagine being that badass. You show up and all your enemies are just like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Right? Exactly. Oh, man.
I don't want to fight anymore.
The Witch King was in a hurry. He may not have been able to anticipate Aragorn arriving from the south, having been through the paths of the dead, but he will have been very aware that Saruman falling meant that the Rohirrim would soon be on their way to help Gondor to honour their ancient treaty. He wanted to capture the city before they arrived. Siege weapons were used, and he magically...
We need to get this done right.
Huge battering ram, enabling it to break down the Great Gate. At which point we get quite an insight into the Witch King's state of mind. He insisted on being the first person in his army to pass through the gateway. Gandalf stood before him, barring the way, and we read this. The Black Rider flung back his hood, and behold, he had a kingly crown, and yet upon no head visible was it set. The red fires shone between it, and the mantled shoulders vast and dark. From a mouth unseen, there came a deadly laughter.
Absolutely terrifying.
Said, old fool.
Gosh, these pros are just so good.
Just that would just... He'd be like, never mind. I wish I could die right now.
Right?
I love how he managed to say, basically, it was indescribable.
Yeah.
But like make it feel like he described it to you.
Yes.
Death when you see it. Die now and curse in vain. And with that, he lifted high his sword and flames ran down the blade.
Yeah.
Given what...
In a way, Tolkien was like, let me flex on everyone and describe this thing that's indescribable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come for me. I'm laying down the beef. What
If
y'all
the-
got?
This is hubris at its highest. From his perspective, though, his confidence is understandable. Minas Tirith was the greatest stronghold humans had, the symbol of defiance against Mordor. The Witch King had personally led a campaign over literally millennia to weaken the kingdom, and now it had fallen. Its steward was mentally broken, one of his sons dead and the other incapacitated in battle. The southern fiefs had been prevented from bringing aid by attacks from Umbar. There was no sight of Theoden and the Rohirrim, and now, with a hugely superior army at his back, he had stepped foot in Minas Tirith as a conqueror. Yes, everything was going to plan. So he laughed in Gandalf's face. Then Rohan came to Gondor's rescue, unexpectedly quickly. This must have felt
In
like
a Tolkien example of instant regret.
Yeah.
Instant karma.
Mhm.
He laughed in Gandalf's face. Now
knew he
here's
was-
Rohan.
I could just man. I could just picture it. The fucking Witch King laughs in Gandalf's face, and then Gandalf just kind of grins and asks, "Say, Witch King, any news from the Mark?"
Right.
The Witch King does like some sort of double take, and then like a sort of oh fuck sort of shrug.
Right. It's like,
Oh man.
He did back out on the battlefield, so he got onto one of the fell beasts and tried to take decisive action. His target was Theoden.
I have to say, okay, this is fucking funny. Chad guy says he's got a intellectual British voice. It's Anne, just so you know, and then he says he's doing God's work.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
And here, I thought you would find that more amusing than that, considering you're aggressively agnostic.
Well, that was the joke of being like, yeah, maybe I am. I don't know.
Oh, it was just too subtle for my stupid ass to get it. Got it. I'm so stupid.
No.
Why am I this stupid? If only I wasn't so goddamn stupid.
My God.
Maybe you are. I don't know.
Fuck you!
I had to keep on with the bit, man. Leave me
His
alone.
thinking here seems straightforward enough. Get rid of their leader and the rest will become demoralized. This wasn't
I'm uploading this reaction on my main channel.
their homeland they were fighting to defend now, and they will have been tired by the long ride and battle they'd fought just days earlier at Helm's Deep. And to be fair to the Witch King, Theoden was killed while he attacked, not by him personally. A dart hit his horse, which reared up and fell on him, crushing him. The Witch King landed, and, proud as always, advanced to land the killing blow himself. He was opposed by Durnhelm,
Falling into the no,
Well,
he's mine trope.
behind him with that
Right.
ancient blade, and we know what happened next. Merry stabbed him in the back.
I absolutely fucking love it when they use the "no, he's mine." The bad guy uses the "no, he's mine" trope, and then the bad guy gets his ass handed to him.
Yes.
It's like, damn, you really called dibs on the fight just to have your whole fade run, bro.
Yep.
I fucking love that shit.
Like, oh.
Yeah, it's just like the ultimate. Ha! You got yours.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been so smug.
It
And
really is the fucking just delicious karma. It's like, oh my god, he thought he wanted the smoke. He thought he wanted the smoke.
Well, the thing is, though,
Couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the smoke.
He also just. It's not like the guy he was going for got him. It was some people he just wasn't expecting.
yeah. Yeah, and a lot of the time somebody smaller and weaker.
Back of the knee, sundering the magic that bound his soul to this
Back of
place.
his knee.
Eowyn drove her sword into him, ending his black reign. I did a whole other video on exactly what happened there, if you're interested, but here it's worth thinking about the Witch King's perspective on what happened. We noted a moment ago the huge confidence and
Oh,
pride.
them seamless plugs, man. They make me jealous.
Yeah.
I could plug my own stuff that seamlessly.
like that. But here especially so, and it was still the case when he started to take on Eowyn, who was disguised as a man at the time. It was only when she revealed herself to be a woman that his mood seems to have changed. He quoted at her the line that no living man may hinder me, and she revealed herself to be not a man, and he became filled with doubt. Tolkien even uses the word doubt twice to describe how he was feeling, to make sure we understand. The Witch King had been so sure of himself, and now suddenly he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Told you we
No
would
man can hurt me,
no,
but I'm
wasn't
not a man.
who the
Oh,
He's like, oh fuck.
I'm not sure what that means. It's that second where he realizes, holy shit, that could be.
Yeah.
I was thinking of it being mankind, but she's right. It could be.
Yeah. It's like they could have intentionally changed the codicil on this proviso.
God damn it, Caitlin. Why do you have to say everything in like, haha, I'm smarter than you. Haha, I'm smarter.
What? No, I was doing his voice. I was doing the Witch King's internal dialogue.
Oh, yeah, because that's totally how the Witch King talks.
Yeah.
He always has a glass of wine in one hand.
He always has what?
He always has a glass of wine in one hand while he's doing it.
Yes. Yep. He does a swishy.
So tell me, where's the Shire?
and gone to great lengths to avoid. The last time before that he had seen him, Glorfindel had come out with that prophecy about him falling not by the hand of a man. Seeing Glorfindel again must have reminded him. So
It was Glorfindel that fucked him on that one.
Yeah.
You thought I was talking about mankind.
He was like, haha.
I got you, bro.
Yep, he was like, I specifically, when concocting that spell, thought woman.
In fact, I wrote it, but I got rid of it in Tipex.
Yep.
Wait a minute. So I thought it just said that the Witch King thought it wouldn't be a man that killed him because of Glorfindel's little prophecy. So are you telling me it was actually a spell that the Witch King himself cast?
No, the Witch King did not cast the spell. Glorfindel foretold it.
And he just gave it to him in a cryptic way. He was like, Witch King, you will be struck down by the hand of no man.
Yeah.
The Witch King was like, okay, you mean no one can kill me.
Right.
And Glorfindel was like, yeah, totally.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my god. And,
what I mean
well,
by
Mason, you just gave me a direct quote, didn't you? By the hand of no man.
I don't know, to be fair.
Oh, okay. Because then that would make sense. What if that was a direct quote? Then that would make sense why Eowyn said, "I am no man" in the movie.
It's actually just her full name. No man.
Oh my god.
His life, or unlife, were filled with doubt and anger, rage. This is the other way Tolkien describes him at the end. Angry. Gone are the mocking little speeches and cruel laughter. Instead, just trying to kill this threat in front of him in the most basic of ways, battering down on her with his mace. This is the last we read after that final blow. The crown rolled away with a clang. Eowyn fell forward upon her fallen foe, but lo, the mantle and hauberk were empty. Shapeless they
Did
lay
he just die of embarrassment? Because I think he might.
Yeah.
cry went up into the shuddering air and faded to a shrill wailing, passing with the wind, a voice bodiless and thin that died and was swallowed up, and was never heard again in that age of this world.
Fuck
The Witch
yeah.
King left this world wailing into the wind.
Mhm.
I suppose there is an irony here that the dismay he had intended to sow into the hearts of Rohan's army by killing their leader instead happened to his own army with his death. They lost heart and retreated, and ultimately the battle, which had seemed a foregone conclusion in their favour, was
Wait,
lost.
the boss is dead. Never mind.
Right.
Bound too about how he rode out of his way to avoid Glorfindel, and yet Glorfindel's words followed him to his death. How he clung to those words as a defence because no man could kill him, but it turned out that they simply revealed his weakness. But ultimately, Tolkien wants us to see the Witch King as an example of hubris, pride before a fall. And there is a certain poetic justice that for the
Yes,
last
most
moments of his
certainly.
life, that hubris was replaced by doubt. At the end, he realised how wrong he had been.
Like the bully he was.
Videos on the world of J.R.R. Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings. Please click on the link.
Sorry, what was that, Mason?
Said like the bully he was.
Dude, Tolkien truly was a master at this shit.
I know. I still don't understand how he could possibly have put as much depth in as he has, and I don't think we've even uncovered it all yet.
Yeah. Hmm. This
It's
is
like a once in a lifetime sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't think of who would have been around that would be better. But that is childhood bias speaking.
There's also just an objective argument to be made there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because at the time there wasn't anyone else.
I think when it comes to being a writer, maybe the greatest writer of all time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially like world builders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wish he could have I wish he'd had longer to flesh it out more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have loved to know more about like the East and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the lands that we didn't get to see. I'd love to know what was going on over there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that there are still like pages and pages of journals and things like that still haven't been like put together and published.
Yeah.
All of this information that his son and the rest of them still have, but they're like trying to compile and publish as fast as they can.
I don't know why they don't just publish it all in its raw form. The fans would do their job for them.
Right?
I know. We'd still pay like $20 for it or whatever.
Exactly. It's just like put it in a printable format. Just give it to us raw.
At this point, it'd be a collector's item.
Yeah.
Caitlin would be like, just hook it into my fucking veins.
Right. Exactly.
Take me there.
Yeah.
I want to go to paradise, motherfucker. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.